Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest 8-second gaming, and in today's video we're going to be talking about these Season 17 patch notes because oh my god they look so good. I'm excited for them. By the end of this video I'm hoping you are too. But included in Season 17 is a brand new rank system and it's going to completely throw off everything you thought you knew about Apex. So trust me guys, you want to click the link in the description, check out the GameLeap website right now, because over there our top level coaches are already planning and devising new guides to help you climb next season. On top of that, we have hundreds of the best, most informative guides possible all already on the website. We have legend guides, gun guides, VOD reviews, and much more, so click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, and really start to improve today. But okay, jumping back into the patch notes, what better place to start off with than the brand new legend, because he looks pretty cool. First off, his passive is called Sling. This is where you can store a third weapon and you can access it via the inventory or character utility action button. Now a third weapon does seem a little bit overpowered because you can just kind of pull that out in really close fights, but to keep it balanced, they did make it so you can have no attachments on this sling weapon. It has to be naked. That will be a little bit more relevant when we do talk about his ultimate though, but for now let's talk about his tactical Whistler. This is where you shoot a projectile that heats up an enemy's gun as they shoot. Overheating causes damage and it will lock them out from shooting for a brief period of time as well. But for the people that were worried like, oh my god, how big is the tactical, is going to be hard to hit, don't worry, because you can hold this to lock on because it is a smart bullet and it makes it so that it cannot miss no matter what. Now this will deal 20 damage on impact, and you could also leave it as a trap because it will temporarily stick to surfaces, and if an enemy gets too close to it, it will hit them, dealing 5 damage and applying the debuff. So you can kind of think of it like an Ash tether maybe, because it will be able to set a trap for somebody if they're chasing you and they won't be able to shoot you. It's going to be a really interesting ability, but it doesn't hold a candle to his ultimate. This is Tempest. This is where you and nearby allies get faster reloads, faster armed movement speed, and infinite ammo. You will still have to reload though, but it doesn't really matter if you're in a fight because you can just get infinite amount of reloads. But on top of that, the sling weapon also is upgraded to gold straight away. So if you have something like a Havoc in your sling spot, it just automatically gets a turbocharger at instant speed and you are solid in fights. He's going to be such a good offensive character. You can probably just throw him into any edge team comp and he will fit straight in. I'm really excited to see how he plays in the meta because I don't think he's going to shake things up, but he will be just a solid addition. Moving forward though, let's talk about the map changes because World's Edge is receiving a bunch of them and it's going to completely change the flow of the map in my opinion. First up, we have the new POI. This is called Monument. Now with this, they have completely remodeled Frag West and East and made it just a lot better of a POI from the looks of it. Before, this POI was absolute trash. The only reason people landed there was because everyone else landed there and they were trying to be super cool and get some clips. But they've removed a bunch of buildings, they've changed a bunch of spots, the bridge has now been remodeled, the construction building's no longer there. It actually looks like a pretty half decent POI now, and it looks like you actually will be able to find some loot rather than just landing on a site and then getting shot by a PK and you're back. The new big building that they have added in also is like this museum where it takes a look back at Apex's past, so if you're able to kind of take a little bit of a second to look around it, it does actually seem pretty cool. And I'm still hoping that they add a wall to show off the past season #1 predators because that would be kind of cool. But this wasn't the only POI receiving some changes. Let's talk about the other one, and this is Stacks. Now this is where Lava City used to be, but they've just basically remodeled it the same way that they did Fragment. All of the buildings that they essentially took out of Fragment, they just slid them over here. This is where the construction building is, and it's got a couple other buildings as well, and they've also changed the train station and stuff like that. So it does seem like an actual solid POI now. Before, Lava City was kind of a dice roll because if you didn't get one of the better buildings, you were just gonna straight up lose. And if you took too long, Mod or Dome was just gonna third party instantly, but now it's gonna be a little bit harder to push in, it's gonna have a little bit more loot distribution, and it's gonna be a lot better of a POI. But if you thought we were done talking about changes to World's Edge, just you wait. They have also changed the lava around the map. Before, if you fell into one of the kind of pits with the lava, you would be sent back up in kind of like a weird updraft thing, but that is no more. They have completely taken that out. And now they've changed the lava levels so that they're a little bit higher and you can actually get out if you do fall in. But do be warned, the lava is still hot. If you fall in, you are going to be taking some damage while you're down there. But it's not a death trap anymore and you can play down there in a pinch. Sometimes if you're running away from a team, you need to break line of sight, you can hop down there, it's playable. Harvester was also on the receiving end of some changes. Again, the lava levels have kind of been changed. They've risen a little bit. There's now a new platform. There's a zip line that you can use. It's not a huge change, so that's why I didn't include it in the POI changes, but it is still kind of nice. Another small change is they have added a brand new vault by Skyhook. Now the vaults are the ones where you have to have the key card to get into them. There's a bunch of loot. They've also improved the loot in them. It's mainly just a quality of life change for all the loot hounds out there. Now next up, we are going to do a little bit of a talk about the ranked updates. We're not going to go into super detail about about them because they deserve a video all on their own because there's so much and it's just so complex. But the important things you do need to know are, first off, there is a new matchmaking system that has a hidden skill rating, and this will have skill adjustments made on pre-made sizes to account for the competitive advantages gained. So this means that solos are more likely to end up against other solos and 3 stacks are more likely to end up against other 3 stacks. Do keep in mind though, it's not going to be possible to fill a game completely with solos. They're going to have to throw in some duos, they're going to have to throw in some trios, so it's not going to be 100% of the time. It just means that the system is working to be balanced a little bit more for the people that are trying to solo queue or maybe don't have a 3 stack on at the time. This is a great change in my opinion, I'm very excited for it. Second off, there is a new scoring system that emphasizes winning the battle royale. You guys have to remember, this is a BR. The objective of the game is to win. It's not about to get a bunch of kills. I know some people aren't the biggest fans of this because they do consider it camping, but there is a big difference between camping and holding position in zone. Third, there is a new bonus system that will conditionally reward wins and compensate losses. This again, just a little bit of a balance change. And fourth, there is no more split reset. With a full seasonal reset, start off with 10 provisional games. So you're going to have to play these 10 games whenever the season starts to kind of see where you place up, and then you can do a climb through the ladder after that. These are just placement games. It's kind of like if you were to start a brand new League of Legends account. Once you reach level 30, then you're going to have to play some games to see where you rank. And fifth and finally, ranked will now require account level 50 to play. So if you played before and you're actually like level 49 or something like that, you won't be able to play ranked come next season. You're going to have to hit level 50. This is a fantastic change, not only because people need a little bit more time to learn the game. Level 50 is a good spot where people actually understand some basics, but on top of that, people that were just leveling up accounts to have them boosted or something like that, it's going to be a lot harder for them to actually hit those levels. And by the time they hit level 50, hopefully they will be banned. So it's going to mean a lot less bots running around. It's going to mean a lot less boosting running around. And hopefully this will be a great solution to that. Now, the next thing is a new survival item. This is the evac tower. This is just really good for teams that are making to look really long rotations. If you land in Skyhook and the zone pulls all the way across the map from you, it's really hard to get there on time. This makes it a lot easier for teams to actually make those rotations and not have to be chugging all of their meds on the way in. Moving forward though, let's talk about the balance changes for the weapons because I'm really excited for these. Now, the L-Star is going into the care package. The RE45 is going onto ground loot. So for the L-Star to make it actually a care package tier weapon, they have added disruptor rounds onto it with a 60% damage increase against shields, and the base damage has been reduced to 16. It was 17. This is just to kind of compensate a little bit for the disruptor rounds and make it a little bit more balanced. Now, projectiles do also have pass through with a 60% damage retained. So it's kind of like a longbow or a sniper rifle where you can shoot through somebody. So the L-Star bullets will just rip right through somebody and you could potentially hit all 3 people in a squad, but it does do less damage the more people that it does pass through. They have also increased the growth of the projectiles and they've improved the recoil pattern. Now, the base ammo of this will be 324, so don't burn straight through it because you're not getting any more unless you find a new L-Star. Now, next up, the marksman rifles are receiving a couple changes. The 30-30 and the triple take, they're both getting their projectile sizes increased, but the triple take is also getting improved hip fire spread. They've also tightened the bullet pattern when fully charged. They've reduced the ammo per shot from 3 to 1, and the magazine sizes have been adjusted to match the new ammo costs. Next up, we have the R99. Now, the R9 went from being like a super mid-tier weapon to being an absolute beast in Season 16. So they are trying to balance that a little bit, and to do so, they've removed 1 bullet from all of the magazines. So no mag went from 20 to 19, white mag from 22 to 21, blue mag from 25 to 24, and purple and gold from 28 to 27. I don't think this is really going to change a whole lot. I still think the R9 is going to be a really solid weapon, but it is a good balance change in my opinion. Now, next up, we have the charge rifle, and they have reduced the shots in each magazine from 4 to 3, and they've also reduced the spawn rate. Charge rifles are annoying and they're everywhere, and with the new rank changes being more emphasized on placement points, they were just going to continue to be absolute beasts. I think this is a really good change. It's going to make these sniper rifles a little bit more balanced because you're going to actually want to pick up a longbow or a sentinel instead of a charge rifle now, and I think it's just an overall good change for the game. And next up, let's talk about the legend changes, and these are super disappointing. I was really hoping for more, and some of the legend changes are just really weird. Now, the only good one is Catalyst. For her ultimate dark veil, scan highlights and diamonds are no longer visible through it. This is actually huge for Catalyst because now she's actually going to be shutting down the scan meta the way that we all thought she was when we first were introduced to her. Scans and wall hacks are still a huge issue in Apex, and Catalyst is now going to be dealing with those very effectively. But that's the only big change. There are 2 other changes, but they're really simple. First off, Mirage's class just went from skirmisher to support, and Ashe now gets slowed to weapon sprint speed instead of weapon walk speed when targeting with her tactical. And that's it. That's all the legend changes. There really weren't that many. I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more. I was really hoping to see some Revenant buffs to make him a little bit more meta, maybe some lifeline changes to make her a little bit better because she's still really weak. Now, that's all we got for direct legend changes, but there are also some changes to the classes. First off, for the assault class, smart loot pins are no longer going to be randomly jumping tiers in loot. So it'll be less likely for you to jump from white to purple or blue blue to gold. Now, optics are also given based on the team rather than just the legend who opens the bin, and they have added special drop rates for gold optics. Next up for the skirmisher class, care packages are now automatically pinged for everyone on the reveal, and this does include empty care packages that have already been looted by another team. And the big changes are coming for the support class. First off, support bins will now have a guaranteed battery in at least one of these secret compartment slots. Batteries are the best healing item in Apex, and you want more batteries, so this is a great change. But next up, the bins will also award a mobile respawn beacon if your ally is dead, even if you don't have the banner card. So even if you do get a way to craft their banners, you don't have to craft a mobile respawn beacon. You can get a guaranteed one out of a smart bin, and they're marked on your map so you know exactly where to go. But on top of that, legend banners can now be crafted by any player who has the support class on their team. So if the support character already used their crafting materials or they just don't have enough, but somebody else on the team does, they can craft the banners now. And it doesn't say if the support character has to be alive or not, so if the support character dies, the other person on the squad can craft their banner as well. Supports have a really tough time getting out of fights if things go south. They have really no escape tools other than Loba. So a character like Wraith, who can get out of fights, can easily just get away and craft somebody's banners. This is a huge change. I'm really excited for this one. But let me know what change you guys are most excited for in the comments down below, and if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Once again, mates, and gaming, I will see you guys in the next one.